Hello and welcome to another episode of Moose's Gear Goo Review. I'm Moose, and today we have a knife review, and that's of this guy. This epically big, awesome knife. It's not terribly big, but still super cool. This is the Kizer Vanguard Sheepdog. The Kizer Vanguard Sheepdog, and it is awesome. So this is a Kizer Vanguard Sheepdog. It is Kizer's newest model as far as the sheepdog family goes. We'll read over some specs and talk about the knife and the blade and the design. So the overall length is 7.75 inches. The blade length is 3.25 inches. Cutting edge is 3 and 0.125 inches. Blade thickness is 0.13 inches thick. The handle length is 4 1/3 inches. The handle width is 1 1/4 inches thick, and the handle thickness is 0.46 inches thick. The overall weight for this knife is 4.5 ounces. And yeah, so let's take a look at it. Now, as you can see, obviously it is a sheepdog, which has, if you're new to the knife community, you probably might have never seen this, but this is a fairly recognizable blade by Kizer, which is a Chinese company. And this is one of their best-selling models, and definitely one of the better-selling cleaver-style blades out there on the market. You can see in the blade shape, which I think is one of the most attractive things about this knife, is just the overall design of the blade. We have this thick, broad profile of this cleaver style blade, but it's very modernized with some really unique angles designed into the blade. As you can see, we got this nice flat saber grind, high saber grind into a sheep's foot or more of a cleaver blade. We have a plain edge, cutting edge there, very nice. And in the design of the kind of cleaver slash sheep's foot design, we have some stylized swedges both on the tip and on the top. And then there's this kind of awkward but cool looking little cutout there. Not sure exactly what the purpose of it is, other than it is a good resting point for your fingertip if you're going to put it at the very top. With all these angles, different angles with the knife, it gives it a really cool look. We have the Kizer logo. There we go. Kizer logo there. And then the blade steel stamped into it. This is CTS BD1N, which is a newer steel. I feel like the original Vanguard knives were actually in 154 cm. So as far as the evolution of this knife, and we'll go over that briefly, is originally Kizer came out with a premium knife in S35VN titanium handle scales, and it was actually this size. This was the original size of their higher end sheepdog. From that, they realized that I think, now if I get the timeline wrong, please correct me in the comments, but I think they wanted something that was a little bit more affordable, and then they came out with the mini sheepdog. And I don't think there is a premium version of the mini sheepdog with better materials, but I could be wrong. But I know that this was a really big one, and this was a lot of people's chance to get their first hands on a under $100 sheepdog knife. And this actually has 154 cm blade steel, which is very good. And then from there they went to the XL, which is a very large knife. If you think this is a large blade, the Sheepdog XL is huge, and that was $100, and you got a lot of knife for that. And I don't have one, but my buddy has one. I was able to check it out, and yeah, big knife. So just imagine that. So you have the small, the medium, and then the large. And then at the end, they were like, well, I guess we should give them something not as big as the XL, but definitely bigger and more or less fitting into the Goldilocks zone of this design. And that is just taking their original size and putting it into a Vanguard model. And basically Vanguard is just their more affordable versions of their higher end knives. So there's the story for that. So yeah, going into the blades design as well. On the back side, we have I think the model number, and then we have the Sheepdog Knives logo, who this knife is designed by, and then down here is another number of some sort. Not really sure why, but it's there. So it is a stonewash, kind of a satin finish stonewash, really nice. Here it is folded up. It is a designated flipper, so that flipper tab becomes part of the guard, and then you do have a nice finger or a sharpening choil there, so you're able to sharpen the majority of the length of the blade there. And overall, I'm telling you, that blade design is just super attractive. Going into the handle now, on the Vanguard Sheepdog, they only come in micarta handle scales, a black, a green, and a natural micarta, as far as I know, or at least at the time of this video. And they took, once again, a lot of the design features of the original and applied them in. So in the original Sheepdog, it was titanium, and these are actually cutouts that went all the way through, I believe. But with this one, you have the more contoured micarta, so you have nice rounded edges, and then you have those milled out parts there, cutouts. Add a little bit traction and just a little bit look. They aren't present on the back side, but the micarta feels really good in hand, and it's a very nice quality micarta, and the rounded edges feel really good when you're gripping into it. You have that larger choil there and the finger guard, and then you do have a divot or kind of an indent here. That's a perfect place for your thumb to rest, and then your other fingers just fall into that arch there. And pretty comfy. You know, definitely good for like shaving, and in a full grip. Not bad. I don't get a ton of hot spots anywhere, so very nice. The pocket clip on the other side, it's kind of lackluster. Just a basic one-piece pocket clip. It's not deep carry, and it attaches with 2 bolts, and it is a one-sided pocket clip, so right side tip up only. The one thing I do like with this is that all the hardware is matching and is done in like a polished satin finish. Matches the pocket clip, and then the cool thing, I'm not sure if we'll be able to see this, so we might not be able to see it, but I'm going to try to get in here. It has inset liners, stainless steel liners that are inset into the micarta, which gives it a very thin profile when you're looking top down. But then you got some skeletonization in there with drill holes, but then it's polished. It has polished silver liners. And so when you're looking over the handle scale and you're seeing like this, you know, more earth tone, textured, very earthy, kind of rough edge, and then you look inside and you see like these mirror polished liners. It's kind of like this unique rough to riches kind of look, and it's very cool. It is a liner lock, and it's easy to undo, and the flipping action is really nice. I believe it's on bearings. Please correct me if I'm wrong. Come on, focus, buddy. So, either way, it's very smooth. Get past that detent. Drop shutty all the way. So, there's that. Let's compare it to some knives. We got another kind of sheep's foot design. We got the Gerber jukebox. We'll do the Revo Ness. Kind of similar size there. And what the heck? We'll do the Kershaw Knockout. So lining those up. And as you can see, it's about 3 1/4 inches in cutting length, or 3 1/2. Pretty similar in blade length to the Knockout, or handle length. Blade length similar to the Ness and the Knockout. And yeah, So let's check the blade thickness. Looks like the Revo's slightly thicker, but it looks like the handle is thinner than the Revo. Pretty similar blade sizes, I think. Going to the jukebox. Similar blade thickness, handle-wise. I think the Kizer's slightly thinner. You can see kind of the difference in a true sheep's foot kind of razor design here versus the cleaver design. Oh, man, that handle scale is just gorgeous. Love that. Alright, and then last is the Knockout. Now, the Knockout always surprised me with how thin the handle is from the top down. And you can see here, these are both very thin-handled knives in that regard. Blades, pretty similar as far as width. Obviously, one comes to it's more of a drop point, and the other is definitely a cleaver. So, actually very comparable with the Knockout. So, cool. Weight-wise, I think the Knockout's slightly lighter there. All right. And finally, to our last test, your favorite test, the ugly brown glove test. So, obviously I can deploy it, or the Micarta doesn't feel as good as it does with a bare hand, but there is still enough texture there to grip, and if Micarta gets wet, it actually gets tackier, it gets grippier. So, these grooves do help as far as slipping. I can just lock my thumb in one of those grooves and it holds it pretty good. There is no jimping on the top of the tang or on the flipper tab, so that's always kind of an issue if you're having cloth gloves. But it's easy enough to find and keep your thumb on there for deployment. The liner lock is easy enough to find and disengage. I will say that the tab, when it comes down, if you're pushing over, you can catch your thumb under there, or your cloth glove gets caught in there. So it's something to just, once that happens, just move your thumb up before you fully try to close it. Full grip in hand. Actually locks in really good with those contours, mainly that main choil, and then my fingers can fall into those grooves there and hold it in, so not bad. Yeah, it works really good. Not necessarily the best because my glove keeps getting caught in there, but definitely passes. So excellent job, Kizer Sheepdog. You pass, and I'm going to give you a B+. B+ on the ugly brown glove test. Alright guys, so there you have it. This is my review of the Kizer Sheepdog, Vanguard Sheepdog. Who is this for? First off, it's for anyone who loves the sheepdog design, anyone who loves cleavers. This wood does work really well for food prep, chopping vegetables, really fun. And it's not a bad carver, very slicey, and it destroys boxes. So whatever you want to use it for in that capacity. It's a little big and heavy for me for like urban EDC carry. But if you're out in the suburbs or just, out and about, it's not that bad. It's very thin, so it's not going to bulge out, but it is wide, so it will take up some real estate in the pocket. So just make note of that. Other than that, a good EDC, and definitely a cool knife to have in the collection. And if you already got the other ones, you might as well pick this one up, especially for under $100. I think at the time of this video they're going about $90, but the blade steel's excellent, and other materials are fantastic. So there you have it. Please feel free to share your comments down below. Let me know what you think of any of the sheepdogs, honestly, and what you think of the review. On that, like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Peace out. Thank you, and I'll see you outside. Bye.